If you want to record, if not, I do not. Oh, it is. Okay. So I think like I can give you guys some laser coaching, and then just I think I can sprinkle in some of the thoughts I had here, because the thing is this, and I think all success comes from awareness and intention. So right now you have to be 100% aware of where things are, because what are we, 3 weeks out from 2020? What is 2020 besides a new year? Anybody? Anybody? What is it?
A new decade.
Amen. It's a new decade. Like, so now you got, like, I was sitting with Ann and I was flashing to, like, don't laugh, hose. It was 1999. And I was working in the fashion industry. And I remember, I can still remember, because you know it was 1999 and you're like, ooh, what was that weird 2K thing was going to happen? And you were all worried about that. But you were thinking, first you had Prince playing all the time. And then you were thinking just like, oh my God, it's a freaking new century. What the hell? What is this going to mean? I feel like that was yesterday. I'm like, 20 years have passed. I went from that company in fashion to another company in fashion, to getting into the fitness industry, to being a personal trainer, to building a studio for 10 years, to launching an info product business, to freaking launching an online business and brand, to opening a vineyard. I'm like, fucking 20 years flew the F by, that if we're not today just like way more aware how fast time is flying, and you're done waiting for the things that you want, you're done. You're done, because 2020, 2030, just think about how fast, like 15 years ago, 2005-ish, it was still a fucking dial-up road up. Remember? That whole thing was going on. That was only less than 15 years ago. So do you understand how much faster things are going to move? That if you are in contemplation about what I want, in contemplation about getting after the things that are going to matter and that you want to live now with, you're going to be done in the market, because it's going to move too fast. Others will claim the space. Others in this business will take your business builders, because they're out saying, I don't got time, and I'm posting about living life, going after opportunity, chasing your dreams, getting out of jobs, building your own business. Because the market today, I think the world, people are at a place where the number one thing that they want as an outcome in life, we say freedom, which is true. But what does freedom ultimately mean is control. Control of my choices, control of my time, control of my finances, control of the options I have. You want security because you're like, I want to feel control, that I can take care of my health, take care of my family's health, take care of my kids' health. But you're like, are you really going after it with that intention of recognizing I truly want to live that, as compared to sounds good? I keep wishing about it. I keep putting it on my little dream vision board, which are all cute things. But there's a difference between the power of intentionality. So if you're like, I want more from this business, what's the intention? But what does that life, that daily dream experience really look like? Because then, I'm not trying to be flippant. You're not going to give a shit about what day do I post, what time do I post. That will come because you're like, I have shit to say. I have a message to get out. This is of importance. This is of significance. So I'm not missing opportunities because I'm worried about little tactics. Not that they're not good, but you're more like, I really have to do this. I have to say this. I have to go be this. Because any of you know when your time is said and done? I don't. And I'm just like, I don't know how much time we do have each, but yet we keep on running our businesses or building our lives as if we got forever. And I'm like, there's no sense of necessity and urgency to go get the things that you want. Because I'll tell you right now, your success isn't coming. You go get it. No one's going to pull it up in your driveway. If you ever look at the statistics of lottery winners that are there like 10 years later, it's like less than 1% because they piss it all away because they never learn how to live with that kind of money, earn that kind of money, be the person that knows how to control that kind of money. So first and above all, you all got to start with the number one mindset that 2020 and beyond can't wait. You got to be intentional about what you want. Go get it because it ain't coming. You go earn it. I hate that saying, you deserve more. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. There's one thing that we know about society. Everybody is very average. I mean, you just got to look at society. But where the things are great is there's never been a species on this planet that is more adaptive and can go after the things that they want. The average will stay there. The people that are above average, they've learned, they've adopted, they've built skills, they've built capacity, they've built capabilities. So what's your plan for 2020 to gain the capabilities to lead this business, to market this business, to sell this business? Those are the things I'm like, I hope you guys are making a game plan, doing your visionary time. Watch, like, I mean, is it coming out in about 2 weeks? Ann and I just shot a video about our takes for 2020 and how to prepare your business for 2020. These are some of the snapshots, but you got to make a plan for the skills that you need. Because when you have skills, you don't worry about the ups and the downs. I missed momentum. I got sidetracked by this and that, because you're like, I can put the things in place to control that. So was it like Jenna, your schedule thing? You got to be able to start thinking like, okay, I know I can foresee my life. We're moving. We're doing this and that. I'm like going on a drug run to Arizona. And you're like, I got to plan some things out here. Because if I take my message away from the market, do you understand how many options are out there today? You're just forgotten. Not because you're not significant, but because more people are saying more shit than you. So you have to be able to be like, okay, in my life when I've got stuff coming up, I start preparing to just be like, all right, I'm going to do a video day. Like Ann and I today, 6 hours straight, just video after video. We shot about 10 because I'm like, that shit will start working all next 30 days. Then I'll shoot another video day, do another set of 10, and I'll make that work for the next month. And I just block out time so that I don't have to show up every day with a post because I scheduled them out. We thought about them. We created assets, content that can exist, whether Ann and I are traveling, whether we're moving, whether we're doing it, because the message and the mission don't take time off. Our bodies, our physicality, our day can take time off, but our message and mission shouldn't, because we prepared by building assets. Does that make sense? So all y'all, if you did one thing, just start scheduling a video day. If you could do a video day, oh my God, you're gonna be amazing. But if not, you're gonna be like, at least every week, I'm gonna do a video hour. And you're like, I'm gonna make 3 to 5 minute videos so that I can use them to get my message out while not being a slave to social media. Now, that begs to ask the question, what are you gonna talk about? What are you gonna put out there? Because to the coaches that we're asking about, I'm finding the discount coaches. Well, that's going to come from two things: what you're putting out in the world and how you're positioning things in the world. Because if you're not putting out, I have something to say. I have beliefs, and we're going to talk about like what I believe are like the 4 or 5 major beliefs about why a decade in, through ups and downs in this business, I'm still here. I'm still going. I might not be running it like I did 6 years ago, but I'm still ever present, still consistent, still going because of these 5 beliefs that I have. And we're going to talk about them in a second. But right now it has to come down first to you guys being like, what's my message and what's my mission in the world? Because if I want somebody to say, because there's business builders out there, you don't really find them, you attract them by being an authority and somebody worth following or stepping behind in line saying, could you lead me? Because if you think about, I mean, there's just so many influencers, there's so many people. In this business now, there's so many coaches that while you're, and I don't mean as in you, as in that, as I mean people, like while you're contemplating, while you're waiting, while you're distracted, while you're off your game, others are just going. So they're getting your people because they're leading with a message. They're building authority. They're putting in position out. So all the bottom dwellers that are just like, hey, nothing wrong with posting an exercise vid, you working out and this and that. But I take an example of how Danny does it. There's a message behind the workout day. There's a message behind that. It's not like, hey, here's my workout. Hey, here's just my meal plan. It's, I believe in living away. I believe I don't want something anymore. I remember the bartender days and these days and whatnot, and I didn't have control or freedom or this or that. So there's teaching, there's insight, there's perspective, there's lessons, there's takeaways. If you're not doing that, it's why you don't get business builders. Does that make sense? You'll keep struggling until the market can see long enough that you keep showing up day in and day out, and you keep having something to say, and you're turning around to help them, and you're saying it to them. We're like, I think you can stand up and go for more. I think you can finally seize another opportunity. I think you can get high performance health. You can change your schedule. If you're not saying that to them, you're just not being direct enough that they're like, oh, you teach this stuff? You're leading people through this? It's like we got closet like opportunity people out there. And closet, you're afraid to say your shit. I'm like, say your shit, otherwise somebody is, and they're winning in the game. Does that make sense? So if you want to just overcome that, I'd be like, what's your message? What's the mission? Like, I always stood on the fact that I'm like, thou shalt reverse the trend of obesity, the trend of people living broke. Those were my two biggest freaking commandments that I'm like, I don't care about trolls, naysayers, doubters, people that mock the business, people that this and that. Makes no difference. I'm like, those are the freaking people in the stands, the spectators. They're not warriors. They're not in the fucking arena fighting. And I was just like, I know what I stand for. And before my time is set in, this is the legacy I got to leave. So I speak up because we were all given a voice, right? Without your voice of leadership, why am I following you? So you want more, step your leadership voice up. Step up that you got a plan. That you're like, hey, are you struggling with yo-yo dieting? I did. I'm making up a message real quick here. But you'd be like, yep, I struggle with yo-yo dieting. And you're like, oh man, let me tell you all the ins and outs of what I know about that. Because if you are, I figured out a way to get that done, gone, never diet again. But it starts with this step. Because in my journey, the first thing I did was I started by just being like, what if I could just clean my body out for once in my life? I've never done that before. And I did this program called The Refresh. And it was the first time in my life that I actually the poop came right out. Like, poof, like that. But it was soft, easy, no liquid shit, great. Wouldn't you like that instead of your Metamucil or the weird other shit you're doing out there, right? But that made me feel this way, and it made me do this and understand this and overcome that, blah, blah, blah. But then once I did that, I started to, now you're showing like, oh my God, I have a method of how I help people solve, but you're standing for something. Each one of you probably has some story, something that you've overcome when it comes to your fitness journey. And if you're not clear on it, that's a problem why you're not getting the best retail clients. And then you should be building your story about kind of like your escape plan from whatever the mediocre regular life thing was. Danny's is her story about escaping bartending and living that way and all the things there. Mine's about escaping the brick and mortar world. I'm like, great. Those are the stories that show that we figured out a way to go from either broke or struggling, trading dollars for hours, not making them, or making good money, but you were at costing your time, selling your soul, whatever the thing is. But all of you need a story of you deciding no more. And I want to live this way. And that opportunity came via this business. And the person that came into your life that woke you up, rung the bell, gave you some direction, and you were like, hey, it was when I finally started to say, like, I don't have to live in the job world anymore. I can run my own business, and it doesn't have to be brick and mortar. I don't got to invest my fucking life savings. I don't got to go make the whole thing myself. I just figured out that the fastest way forward was to find a company I believe in, products I believe in, a mission I believe in, a team I believe in, a leader I believe in, and myself. And those are the 5 beliefs. Let's break them down. Where is your conviction about the products? How deep is it? Where you're like, come hell or high water, I'll defend them. Because in a world of bullshit and fads and gimmicks and whatnot, we have some of the best fitness and nutrition programs, not even just products, programs in the world that have stood the test of time as compared to the fly-by-nights and the quick fix promises. Sometimes to almost the detriment of our growth level. Because Carl has ever been like, I will not peddle shit. I'm not going to promise the quick fix. I'm going to say it's going to take coaching and the triad of that. You're going to need nutrition, you're going to need fitness, and you're going to need a coach to help you with your day, your mindset, your accountability, your motivation. We could have grown faster, but principles defined why we did what we did. So are you like, I like using the products, but I don't feel salesy about it or whatnot? Shit. I would tell you, go to therapy, figure out where your sales shit problems came from, or, again, I'm not saying this to be a dick, just always work for somebody. Because in the world of entrepreneurship, besides you must sell something to get money for something, you got to sell you. So you got to make sure that all that, any of that weird, just like I'm 9 years old nonsense of I have sales issues is gone. And if it came from your parents, go over them and be like, you all were fucked up that you made me think sales are bad. I blame you, but it's over. I'm taking responsibility and I'm going forward myself. Your friends, your family, anyone that comes at you about sales, tell them to suck it and just go freaking do your thing, because these products are the best. And the other most amazing thing is the opportunity of this business. And the number one reason I don't see most people getting business builders is they never talk about opportunity. They never talk about the business as a product. The business is our best product because it has the most leverage. You got to sell a shit ton to make a lot of money in this business if it's just retail. Not that you can't build up a good residual with the consumable products and Shakeology and stuff like that. You can. But you still got to keep selling a lot. When you build a team and get people to believe in the opportunity of this business, and you have the belief and the conviction so that I feel it. You don't got to sell me on it. Danny don't have to sell nobody on her beliefs about this business. Like, she bleeds blue, to use Danielle Natoni's fucking thing. But she bleeds blue. Look, she wears blue. She stopped wearing every other color but blue. That's it. It's weird. Don't do that. But nonetheless, it's the belief in this opportunity. And that's a gut check that all you have to have. A gut check. Do I truly believe in it? With the way that I'm turning it into a way to view life. Because, I teach other people how to build their online brands and businesses, and that shit's tough. This, I'm like, no, don't have to build shit. You have to put you out. You have to put a message out. You have to show people that you're like, oh yeah, we actually already all built shit. You just have to want to go after shit. That's it. We're overcomplicating this business because of the struggles of it. The funny thing is I watch, and Danny's gone through this, I've gone through this, the people that come on all gung-ho, they start out, they do whatever, they're doing all great, and then the couple bumps in the road, and then it's like fetal position. Like in the corner, I got to put a pair of Pampers on them type shit. Or you got to literally be like, oh my God, well, come here. It'll all be good. It'll all be okay. You've got this. You've got this. Danny's not even my PS, but we've known each other for a few years now, and I don't think I've ever once had to wipe her ass or pamper her mindset or whatnot. She's been frustrated. She's had struggles, but never like, I want to give up. I want to quit. Why me? Oh, this is so hard. By all means, I'm always just like to people, I'm like, okay, you show me how long you've been doing that. I'm like, how long have you been that way where you're like, oh, this is hard, this is whatever. I'm like, how many things have you started and stopped in your life? And they can start rolling them off. I'm like, so that's your pattern. Start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. Show me how that's working. Because I'm like, if that's your behavior, if that's your pattern, and this is your result in life, it could just be very well that pattern is what's wrong. All of the coaches that keep starting and stopping, that you got no shot at being successful. None. I'm not trying to be like, I don't want to demotivate you, but I don't want to fluff you either as to be like, it's just consistency. I mean, consistency is the like secret weapon that people live in their dreams have over the regular civilians is what I call them. People not living their dreams, people that need the paycheck in their hands. I'm like, you can be inconsistent because you want the security of your little check. But I'm like, those of us that are building our own fortunes want consistency of showing up because we understand momentum, compounding, leverage, accumulation of our activities to achieve the desired results that we want, like, period. So if you do nothing in 2020 and beyond, besides starting and stopping, you'll win. You'll win. But you need to show up long enough because here's the thing. Every time you guys go away in your business, it takes you like 5 times that amount of time. You were gone for a week, it could take you at least a month and a half to get traction again. Because the market forgot you. The market's, more importantly, because the market's obliterated and incessantly hit with so many people, they're just like, oh, another person that said they were starting their dream thing and gave up and whatnot. And that's what they see. That's the pattern that they see. So when you feed into that belief in their head that most people cannot stick to their thing, cannot follow through on their stuff, you're giving them the ammo in their head to be like, I knew Katie wasn't going to freaking stick this out. She put her stuff out for a little while. It looked good for a little bit, but then life hit the fan and this happened and that happened. And oh, my social media is about, oh, what was me and what's happening. And this is a struggle and this is da-da-da. And I haven't seen her post or talk about what she's been doing, getting after. I don't see her serving the market. I don't see her adding value, teaching, sharing, building, putting out content. Another fly-by-nighter. So how can you be successful? Right? So just kill the start and stop. Build consistency. Show up and add value. And you win. Just right there. Every fucking day. So you got to have belief in the products, belief in the opportunity. Like, y'all ever sit back? I know this isn't very tactic oriented right here, but you ever sit back? Like, I sit back because I'm a nerd. But I'm like, okay, this corporation, I have built 5 different brands and businesses in my life. I've worked for Calvin Klein. I've worked for many different corporations and stuff like that. And I've worked for Crunch and some big fitness. I've just watched big companies and I study. Like, I'm an entrepreneur, so I study business, I teach business and whatnot. But I'm like, do you know how tough it is to find a company that, let alone is built to 1 point some odd billion dollars? So this is a $1 billion company. So barring shysters and scammers that can fly up to something like that but can't hold it there, this company has been around since the 90s. It was a different form though. It was direct response when Paul Deichler figured out the long form video on how to sell on fucking TV. Do you realize he's the innovator of that shit? I know that might not nerd you out. It nerds me out because I'm like, he's an innovator. He fucking figured out a marketing form that is copied by all other industries. Long form video on TV for fitness and wellness. He's the pioneer of it. So I remember just being like, when I did my due diligence, I was like, yo, this dude's legit. I was like, shit, I like what this fucking guy's about. Then the first time I ever heard him speak, and he's like, we're on a mission to freaking end obesity. I was like, I love this dude, mission. This guy talks mission before he's even fucking talking products. I was like, I love this dude. Then I just did my research. I was like, back then they were 600, 700 million in the direct response, and the network was maybe 3 years young, like 3-4 years into it. So it wasn't quite what it is today. But I'm like, this dude built foundation. This company exists not just as a network marketing company. That was like, I have belief in the corporate, the company. And then when I got to serve on the cab and things like that, and I got to meet all the leadership and actually be in room, I'm like, all of these guys rock. These guys have, more importantly, ethics and values. That was just like, shit, I got into the right network marketing business for me, because a lot of them suck balls. A lot of them are crap. And I was just like, but I'm in one with a fucking good man at the helm. They got a solid foundation. They exist in multiple ways in the market. Do you understand how hard that is to do? People have struggled to build this business to make $1,000 a month. This guy built $1 billion company. I'm going to hitch my ride on with that. I'm like, I'm not going to fight him. I'm going to join him. And I'm going to learn from him. I'm going to be dialed into that. Because doing your own thing is fucking hard when you have to start at ground zero. Like, I've built other brands up, but I'm like, that shit was 10 times harder than building my Beachbody business. Because corporation is built right. I'm always just like, people like, I go to my job and I do my thing. I'm like, for who? For what? You work at that business where the person's making, the company's doing $250,000 and you want your $20,000 salary? Or you work for this company that's a couple 7-figure business, but you make it $40,000? I'm like, this is $1 billion company that's giving you the opportunity to get what the fuck you want. But if you all don't believe that way, how are you going to make another person see that, believe that, feel that, hear that? In 2020, if I'm like, Danny, I would love for you to tell me a quarter in, how many of the ladies on that thing started talking with mission and message? How many of them started putting out like leadership talk, showing that they're like, I'm building a business. I've said no to the other world. I'm going to go build a business. She better be able to be like, every one of them dialed it in. Every one of them started stepping it up. Yeah. Because you won't have an opportunity to be successful without that, because other people are. Do you guys watch the markets? As in social media type stuff? Where you're like, good God, everybody has a business opportunity. Everybody. So if you're like, I can't create distinction between them because of my story, my journey, my message, my method, why you? And then if you're disappearing here and there, well, now they're like, oh, fuck, I knew this was another fly-by-night person. Retrain your audience to see you as the leader, the consistent person that has something to say. And then show them that you're part of something. Because belief in the team and the leader is the next one. Because you're literally like, so do you know how many people are alone out there? Even when they work at jobs, they're still alone because they hate half the people that they work with. They're literally like, I dread going to work. And people have, it's a strong desire inside of us as humans, for the most part, of service and contribution. So when you can demonstrate that why you're doing the things are also in service and contribution, because you're like, I'm on a mission to get more people out of jobs. I'm on a mission to get more people out of careers that they hate. Because I'm making up the thing. For me, I'm on a mission to stop people from living broke, because I was fucking lost my house. I was 105 grand in debt. I'm like, this sucks. This isn't living. And I like, when you zoom out of your own life, you're like, oh, this is the norm. I thought I was just sucked balls. But I was just like, oh no, this is the majority of the people in the world. So then when I figured out how to not be broke, because I started studying money, I studied sales, I studied marketing, I studied all the shit that people are like, oh, I'm just not good at that stuff. And I'm like, you're a pussy because you won't go get better at it. I'm like, I started spending money. I wrote checks. The other thing I tell you, stop waiting for this team to give you stuff. Stop being like, because the reason I got so frustrated the times I stopped doing trainings, because I'm like, I've invested well over $500,000 in my own education as an entrepreneur to earn the money that I do. And because of that is why I earn the money that I do. Where I watched so much in this network, I'm like, we give everything for free. So that none of them are earning and learning the value of what it means to fucking be like, I don't know if I have this. $100. I didn't have the $100 when I signed up for Brendan Bouchard's little 6 CD expert roadmap shit back in 2009 or so. But I was just like, I don't really have the $100, but fuck, I'll put it on a credit card. But because I felt the pain of that investment, I remember driving my Pathfinder just listening to that fucking thing, listening to it over and over and being like, websites. The 5 major elements of a website, where other people are like rocking out to Metallica and their music. I'm like, email marketing. How do I begin? Step 1. And it was just, granted, he's not that boring. I was joking, but I'm over dramatizing it slightly for dramatic laughing effect. But nonetheless, that's what I was doing. Y'all got to start investing in you. Your personal development is fantastic. Invest in your professional development. Pick up the nerdy courses, figure out sales, figure out marketing, figure out like positioning, all that stuff like that. Study money. Money hates broke people. Money hates scarcity-minded people. Because it's just like, you won't know what to do with me. You'll piss me away. So it likes to go to the people that are like, ooh, I know how to make it work. I know how to make it grow. I know how to make you do stuff. So make sure money's on there. Complete side note. But team. People are lonely out there. They are confused, overwhelmed. So when you're that person out there showing that you have steps, a roadmap, a blueprint, already you're in the top 10%. Because they're like, oh my God, somebody that actually has a method. Somebody that has a step, a process thing, because I'm fucking confused about what to do first, second, third. You all recognize that you're like, because of my team and this business opportunity, the way not only Beachbody, but the way Danny's team, Hard Chargers team, Rockstar Fit, every major organization that you guys fall fucking under has built some sort of system that you're like, I literally can follow steps. I literally can never talk to Danny, never talk to Vito, never talk to Trina, never talk to fucking Carl, and I still have a fucking blueprint how to build this. You show me where that's happening in the world. You show me where that's freaking happening in the world. Most people don't have that. But do you speak about it? So people are like, oh, you get to plug in with people every day, like every week, and you have stuff that like, you're like, I'm not confused what to do. Some of us are just scared to do it. You gotta knock your fear out, because fear is just bullshit. Like, granted, you're in an alley, ISIS camp, that kind of shit. Yes, that's legit fear. But this fear of rejection, fear of sales, fear of success, fear of that, it's just ego protection. You're just worried that like, oh my God, I'm going to get all butt hurt and someone's going to make fun of me and someone's going to say this and that. Oh, well, until those people pay your bills, what do you care? What they say, think, or believe. What matters is what you say, think, and believe. Y'all got also an amazing leader. Y'all believe in the leader that you have. But that's why she recruits the way she does, right? So I'm always about the law of the mirror, or really just kind of looking at what's right in front of my face, that I'm like, Danny recruits the way she does because she puts it out all the time. It's not fake. It's honed. She didn't start that way. It's not like Danny came out of the womb that way. She decided on that. She came out of the womb a cheerleader. She developed a leader, people. That's the thing. She came out with I actually mimicked a cheer the other day, and so I was like, please don't ever do that again. But nonetheless, I was about to do it, but I was like, I remember the person's like, please never do that again. But you guys have to be like, the reason she attracts is because she puts out leadership. So you guys have to be like, oh shit, if I want business builders and I want to grow this team, should I be putting leadership stuff out more? Should I be showing how I'm a leader? Because otherwise, they're just going to see Danny. Oh, they'll see freaking Trina or Melanie Mitro or Lindsay Matway or this person or that person, because they're all speaking with leadership voices. They're building an audience, and they're like, oh, you've been talking this way for 10 years. 10 years. No wonder you keep on signing up people. You all just aren't running the miles long enough. You think 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. You think 2 years and you've earned the right. Nope. When you're here 5 years, 7 years, 9 years, 10 years, you've earned the right because of the consistency of what you put out, how you're actually leading, how you're contributing, how you're serving. Those first year, two, you're just trying to figure it out. You're just trying to get the foundation down. But then start and stop, start and stop, start and stop. So make it 5 years. Start, stop, make it never. You got to start and just keep going. Make sense? So pick up your leadership. Show your market why you're the leader to them, while you're having a leader show you the way above you and the other leaders that are even above there. It's a leadership chain. It's your turn to start paying that to the people just behind you. You may be, the thing that I want to, who am I? Who am I to put that out there? Well, you're 1 day of awakening more than the person that has never done anything. So you already have the first step, awareness. I just freaking said, I'm done. If you could just coach people to start saying, I'm done with being overweight, feeling sick, being tired, being broke, being stuck in a job, whatever your thing is. And then you just say, I learned that. And then the next thing I did was I just picked a vehicle to start changing my shit because I needed to aim at something. So I was just like, I don't want to start my own business all on my own. I started a business with great products, a great opportunity, a great company, a great team, great leaders. Literally, you can make this a framework that you guys teach. And right there, the person's like, oh shit. Because you're like, hey man, if you don't like your life, you whatever, do this. Go make great products. Go build a great opportunity. Go build a great company. Go build a great team. Go be a great leader. Same fucking methodology. But you just got to go start everything from scratch. Or you come aboard with something like Beachbody and what we have, because they've already built the greatest products. They've already built the greatest opportunity. They already have a great corporation. We already have a great team, and I am your leader. That's going to change everything for you, ladies. And you do that, the last belief happens. Belief in yourself. You can't do all of this stuff if you don't believe in you. So you just got to ask yourself, why not you? And if you're shaky about your skills and your capabilities, just start investing in them. You won't get better being scared, doubting yourself. You won't get better being like, who am I? While you're contemplating why not you, the people that are like, why not me, are going. And they're building themselves. And in the process of building themselves, they're right back into this framework. They're leading others, bringing others together to be a team, building their business, own, while corporate is there, sharing the opportunity, putting out the beliefs in these products to go live with that freedom and control that we talked about. It's 2020, ladies. Do not waste the rest of this year contemplating. You know what I would tell you to do? The only contemplation I'd tell you to do? Go build out your true dream boards. Like, do the deep work. Not just a little, hey, I would like to have this house. And this, that's all fucking fantastic. You need to do that. I had a very clear picture of vineyards and Tuscan living and all that kind of stuff, whatnot. But it was anchored in the whys that mattered most. the days that I really wanted to spend with Luca, watching him break every ornament on a tree. I literally blame all you parents for not one of you posting. All of you watched me for 10 years, and Danny, some of you knew. Nobody was just like, oh, your kid's a year and a half? So do you know what happens at a year and a half with ornaments? Because last year was 4 months. You couldn't see a thing. Now, motherfucker has broken 9 things. It's just, I'm like, forget it. Just take everything off. Make it a green tree. It's a green tree, goddammit. Except for the 1 star up top. But it's crazy. You guys have the best opportunity with one of the best businesses, best products, best leader and team. But ultimately, it's going to come down to you, ladies. And what you're going to go seize from this world to make 2020 the best decade of your life, to begin the best rest of your life. Cool? To answer your questions, walk you through some stuff, or did you need like a new Instagram hack?
You don't know anything about Instagram.
I don't know shit about Instagram.
What questions do you guys have for Vito? He is brilliant. Don't get your head too big on that one, V. But
I have a wife. She knocks it down.
He can help you with anything that you have. And yes, he builds his business differently. He's not like a huge social media guy, but he is very successful. He's in the Legacy Club, which if you don't know, means you've earned over $1 million with Beachbody. Superstar Diamond, top rank in the company. So he knows a thing or two about network marketing, and he can go way deeper into that. So if you have any questions, he kind of asked what your struggles were at the beginning. If you have any questions on what we talked about, now would be the time. We have 9 minutes. Pick his brain.
And I'll give you guys a little bit of extra coaching real quick. So whenever you're given an opportunity to be on coaching calls with men, like, you should prep questions, because you're like, people pay tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars to be on with people. I ever tell you guys a story about when I was at a meeting. It was my first time ever in a mastermind with Brendan Bouchard, and we got invited, but it was only 2 of us were in his office. And I thought there was going to be like 60 of us. And I'm like, there's 2 of us in here. I'm like, I literally don't know what to do. There's only 2 of us in here. And I'm like, why wasn't I told about this? Because I would have prepared for this. I would have at least thought about some shit. I thought I was just sitting in watching him. He was going to do his shit. We get to watch and just take notes. And he comes out and he's just like, oh, my wife doesn't need me for like an hour and a half. He's like, you 2, 45 minutes for you, 45 minutes for you. One thing that you want me to coach you on for 45 minutes, I got to use the bathroom. I'll be back. I was just like, fucking heads up, motherfucker. It cost me $60,000 to be in this motherfucking room. I didn't know I was going to get you like laser coaching me shit. I'm like, I would have been fucking prepared. I was marching around the room like, oh my God, what am I going to ask? What am I going to fucking do? Meanwhile, luckily I asked the right thing, and that right thing is turned into 7 figures. But nonetheless, you would need to be prepared, because one thing a person says to you that you go execute could change your freaking life. So silence has not yet built anybody up. You should ask, even if you think it's stupid, it's silly, it's whatever. Because no true mentor would ever be like, I remember being the newbie. I remember just starting out. I totally know what you're asking. Here's how I'd approach it today. So you should all be asking a question. Or I'll call on you, and then it's going to get awkward. Okay.
I have one. So gotcha. My like strongest why is in my elevator speech, I got out of a horribly abusive marriage and getting 0 child support. So that's like my strongest why, to change my daughter's future. She's 22 months old, and I'm back in an apartment at 37 years old, and that fucking sucks when I wasn't that way a year ago. So my fine line right now is like, I feel like I'm drawn to help the moms who don't want to be just stay at home, or if they do, they want to be contributors, but also the single moms. But I'm finding a lot, and the whole verbal abuse and all of that, but I'm finding the line where I want to make sure I'm not getting too caught up in the emotional side of it, and finding that the women who actually want to change their circumstances without just staying in that blah.
Mm-hmm.
So Danny and I have talked about this a lot about my posts. Like I share my journey, but also realize that I don't stay in the mess. Like this has allowed me to make a lot of money where I was not getting support. So just keeping it where.
So the struggle is what though? How to express that without feeling like I'm harping on the dark parts. I'm doing this, that.
Yes.
Have you created anything where you're like, these are my top lessons? So number one, the idea that you're like, you know what? I love being in an apartment at 37 again with my kid because it means I made a decision to get out of a bad situation in my life. And if I have to go through this today to be in a better place tomorrow versus more years spent in those struggles, what would that cost me and my daughter? What would that cost the generations after? So you showing, number one, a flipped mindset that you're like, I love being here because I have my own little place and it's hard to clean this thing. Great, fantastic, awesome. I love it. But now that I'm happy to be in this place, and I hope any of you ladies out there that might be struggling with something, and I don't know what your quote unquote prison was. Mine was an abusive relationship, verbal abuse, and the things that are actually fucked up. Some of you, it's just you're in your own way. Your prison is your own way. Your prison is your job. Your prison is your career. Your prison is not making financial progress in your life. You define what your prison is, but in all of life betterment, the first step is saying no more. So ladies, I don't know what you need to say no more for. If any of you want to comment down below, what's your no more? And then you tee people up. No more being overweight. No more yo-yo dieting. No more living broke. No more what. So you help them get ideas in their head. But now you're starting to demonstrate that one of your principles is the statement and the moment of no more. And then looking at it as a good thing. You're like, some people are like, oh, I don't have spousal support now, and I don't have this and that. And you're like, no matter. I can earn my own way. I can build my own thing. I don't need to stay in a bad situation because I got to worry about support, finances. That's the reason so many people stay in jobs that they hate, in careers that they hate. The idea of starting over freaks people out. But when you have support, an opportunity, your ability to get up and be happy, your ability to go chase down your success, anything is yours. Now you see, I'm making up a message for you, and you see I can roll right into it?
Yeah.
And that becomes another principle, another moment of yours. Is like, so you got the no more moment. That becomes one of your signature messages. If I pulled you aside and I was like, oh my God, Danny's wasted. I knew it. Too many Miller Lights. This is what happened. It's a fucking problem and whatnot. And I need you got 5 minutes to talk about something that can help this audience. You'll be like, no problem. I'm going to teach my no mores lesson.
Okay.
And you're like, I know the story. I know how I'm going to frame this up. And I know how I'm going to turn to the audience and ask them, what are you going to say no more to? Because then it's a learning. It's not just about you. You're using your story to teach your audience how to think and what to go after, right? Mm-hmm. That elevates your authority. What I just watch a lot of people is post shit, but not create authority because they never teach. They don't add value. They just like, hey, look at this, look at that. I'm thinking about this. Look at my schedule. Look at this, that. Oh my God, I'm living this and here, da, da, da. But I'm like, fucking show me how to think. So I would look through, Katie, all the things that you've been learning and start creating messages around them. You're like my no more message. My like, what was the other one I was telling you about that I can't remember the message I was going after when I was there, but look through them and be like, these are going to become my pillars. My like 3 must-dos as a single mom, getting your life back on track to feel financially free, happy, and like a good role model. I'm making crap up that doesn't suck. And you'd be like, number 1, you figure out your no more moments. Number 2, you create opportunity in your life. Number 3, you never let anybody hold you in a position. Number 4, I'm making them up, but you get the idea.
Yep.
And then when people start like, I love what you're saying, girl, and whatnot, you're like, yeah, I coach people through this. What I help people through is really that stuff.
Yeah.
The way I do it is I'm going to show you, number one, because most of the world's struggling with finances and time and freedom and control. So you're like, I just help people in number one. Two, when I say no more, one of the biggest no mores I tell them to focus on is change your financial future and change what your day looks like, because that's the biggest struggle. I hate my day. I hate my job. I hate my people around me. I hate my finances. I hate my whatever. Well, fucking A, just say no more to that stuff and then choose an opportunity for change.
Love it.
Except you kind of get the idea?
Yep.
And you keep on scaling with that. That stuff I'd be working on with Danny. I nerd out on that shit. So on the Monday night hard charger calls, I love just doing open Zooms, like just say your shit. And then I'll be like, cool, I'll give you 3 messages right in there that you can beg, borrow, and steal and run from. Because that's all marketing. That's marketing. That's positioning. Because that's your message. And message is distinction today. I can't say that message the same, Katie, as you can to moms that want that change. Only you can, but every day that you don't, that's a mom that could have freaking been saved. And when you start viewing it that way, you're like, I let another mom stay trapped in a freaking abusive relationship because I was worried about feeling salesy. I was worried about this, that. I didn't make my post. I didn't set aside a content day so that while I have a bunch of shit going on in my life, I can still keep on talking. That's why I love creating assets. Because I'm like, that's why I love email marketing and YouTube and all the stuff where my shit can exist, my website, my blogs. I'm like, it just doesn't disappear on social media. Social media, you gotta work fucking hard. I don't like working that hard. I like working smart. I'm by nature, I'm lazy. I'd rather be drinking wine and reading fucking books. But I'm like, I've just learned to build asset-based businesses that can generate. That's why I've been sharing with you guys, build funnels. Use the Russell Brunson book and build some funnels and get some stuff up so you don't have to work so effing hard. But that's your epiphany story right there. That's one of your messages, girls. Now build on the back of that. Who else?
Thank you.
You got it, girl. Anyone else? Cool. All right. Ladies, awesome to get to hang out with you. Love being able to support you guys. Danny, anything you guys ever need, you just tell Danny, we need a little bit of douche time. Can we get beats on? Let's have them jump on with us, or you guys can jump on the hard charger call and whatnot. Love seeing your guys' faces because you guys, whether you recognize it or not, from Danny down, it's one of the hardest growing teams and working teams right now. I see a lot of other teams and leaders that it's in and out. It's not a consistent basis because it's stemming from the role model of Danny and the leadership that she's doing. Now honor that, serve that, and in that, pay it forward to the people behind you. Nothing's going to stop you, ladies, in 2020. Cool? Awesome, guys. Hey, have an amazing holiday. Looking forward to seeing you guys crush it. Peace.
Thanks, V.
Thanks.
Got it. Ciao, sweets.